All right, to the Community and Economic Development Committee meeting. It is 6:15 on March 26th. We are here today, to my right is Tom Kendall. To my left is John Swayzer. Myself is Chair William Twiss. We're here today to provide a recommendation to the council regarding the recommendation of the Troy Planning Commission that council accept the final plats of sections 6 and 7 of the Stonebridge Meadows Plan Development. Would you like to add anything to that?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You do have the final plat request, Section 6 and 7 of Stonebridge Meadows. The Planning Commission met at the end of February on the 28th. They recognize that the final plat is in compliance with the preliminary plat. There were some concerns about storm drainage related to Section 5, Section 4, because the way the development has been built from Section 1 on to Section 7, it's been the elevations have been lower in the first sections, and so there's been some concern about intermediate storm drainage issues. And so staff requested the developer to do some modifications, and had talked to the developer's engineers, who had come up with a series of intermediate fixes. And so the Planning Commission at that time recommended Section 6 and 7, but asked that it not be brought to council until the agreements were in place to do the stormwater, the intermediary stormwater. Staff has verified that those agreements are in place. There is sufficient funds in the escrow to take care of anything should something fall short of expectations. They're not major changes. Again, they're just intermediary until the development is fully complete. There have been discussions with the property owner that's in Section 4. Jill, our city engineer, did go out and meet with the homeowners there. They understand everything. They appreciate what we're doing. They understand what the intermediate fixes are, and that will be finished. And so, at this point, Planning Commission is recommending that council approve the final plats for Section 6 and Section 7. Okay, 7 is the last section of the subdivision. We are not requesting emergency legislation.
Okay. John, any questions?
Just in regards to the stormwater, did we go back in and re-engineer and put in larger pipe, or?
No, they're just going to make some modifications. Typically during construction, you'll dam up certain catch basins, and you're designing it for the final build out. So you will have the flows directed certain ways, and again, because the earlier sections were downstream and were the lower elevations, because you've got the open fields and the open development without the final developments done on the lots, there were some concerns. And so with some of the modifications that the properties that have been built have done, that only complicated things. So these are not permanent, these are not redesigns. Once the development is complete, we are still confident, the engineers are still confident that the storm drainage plan that was drawn out and that is being built to specs is the correct one. So these are not modifications to the final subdivision. These are just some minor things to just handle storm as the rest of the lots are being developed.
And you said there is money in an escrow account for kind of an insurance policy?
Yes, absolutely.
In case something should happen?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have anything.
Okay. Tom?
Okay. I guess two questions. First, you're saying our engineering staff is acceptable to what's being proposed?
Yes.
Okay. What happens after it's built out and there's still an issue?
That's what the escrow account would be.
Yeah,
Well-
we'll have a performance bond that's in place. You know, we don't accept the development until we can verify that the storm drainage is doing what it's supposed to do. You know, there have been other developments where what was supposed to happen didn't happen, and so the developer came back and made some minor modifications to correct that. And so we would pursue that if we needed to.
Okay. Obviously, I'm not an engineer to understand, you know, everything that's being done, but I guess, I know there's always been issues out there in that area. And I hope we have them, you know, identified and fixed. That's all I can hope, so.
And
All right.
we will continue to monitor this one like we do any of the other subdivisions that are under construction.
Okay, thank you.
And the developer is in the audience in case you have any other questions.
The intermediate changes, are those already done, or are they supposed to be done in the
I
next?
think some of them are, but they're in process.
They'll be in
as
process
weather
through-
permits.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, I,
Any other questions? All right. Any questions from city staff? All right. How would you like to proceed, Tom?
This is not emergency. Go forward.
let's
Go forward. I agree. Let's go forward, put the paperwork together. Anything else to come before the Community and Economic Development? All right, we are adjourned.